So when I hear the name 8bitdo, I think of their awesome collection of wireless controllers. So when I first heard about their new collection of Xbox media remotes, I was pretty excited since I had just picked up my Xbox Series X. So I grabbed the short controller as soon as it was available on Amazon. Unfortunately, after receiving it, I was a bit disappointed. But let's talk about the good and the bad, because overall, it's a pretty decent attempt. Now, the concept of consuming content on your console is not new and convenient in that you can cut down the need of yet another streaming device, especially if you're tight on HDMI ports. But if you ever passed an Xbox or PlayStation controller to your parents or relatives to watch Netflix, you might as well be handing them a Rubik's Cube. This is where the 8bitdo media remote for Xbox comes in. It's a dead simple remote in both form and function. The design language is obviously nothing like the device that it controls. The Xbox Series X and S have this monolithic presence to them, while the remote feels like I'm holding a mini burrito, which is actually not a bad thing. Its curved shape makes the remote really comfortable to hold and use. I initially felt that the controller could be a bit slimmer, but after seeing my older relatives having no problems at all using this, which can't be said about the Apple TV remote, I'm pretty happy with how this thing came out. The shape isn't the only thing 8bitdo seems to have put a lot of thought into. The remote has 3 different textures: a light grit on the main body, knurling on the back battery cover for a bit of added grip, and a glossy plastic that surrounds the perimeter. The buttons on this remote consist of 3 different shapes. The majority of the buttons are flat, but the Xbox power button has that classic gem that we don't see on their controllers anymore. It feels really nostalgic, and I really like this detail. Finally, the main select button on the center of the arrow keys is concave and gives a really nice point of reference, so you know exactly where everything is by touch. But if you do need a helping hand from time to time, the remote is fully illuminated and turns on whenever movement is detected, similar to the Nvidia Shield remote. Super helpful if you're trying to find this thing in the dark. Now, everything up to this point looks and feels pretty good, but now this is where we get into the major drawback of this remote. It operates on infrared only. In 2021, from a company known for their Bluetooth controllers. This means that for this remote to work, you need to have line of sight to the bind button on the Xbox Series S and X. So if you're tucked in your blankets nice and tight, you'll have to stick the remote out like it's the 90s. With this unfortunate drawback, there is a silver lining that this remote retains backwards compatibility with all of the previous gen Xboxes. So if you're still waiting to upgrade, you can use this remote now, knowing that it will work in the future. The other positive of this being infrared is that with its 2 AAA batteries, this remote sips on juice. But since rechargeable batteries are a thing, I would definitely rather take the higher power consumption and Bluetooth, and I'm pretty sure you would too. Overall, it's a really good feeling remote that is completely hamstrung by the lack of Bluetooth support. Android streaming boxes like the Shield TV and Fire TV have had Bluetooth support since like 2014, and not to mention the PS5's first party remote supports Bluetooth as well. Now, I don't know if this is for the sake of backwards compatibility or support between Microsoft and third-party manufacturers like 8bitdo and PDP, but they really need to sort this out, especially if they're going to charge $20 for this thing. Well, that's it for today. I hope you guys like this short review. Like and subscribe, it really helps me out, and I will see you guys next time.